Well, the G1 Climax 33 started with a bang yesterday here in Sapporo. We're back for day 2, I guess, of the annual summer tradition. I thought it was supposed to be cooler up here on the northern island of Hokkaido.
I've got news for you, buddy. It is a little bit cooler up here in the northern island of Hokkaido. The rest of Japan,
Sweltering.
sweltering.
Well, it is summer. And Chris Charlton and I will be back at ringside to call all the action. It's all block matches. Yesterday it was all the A and the B block. Today it is all the C and the D block. So everyone will have wrestled one match by the end of the first 2 days, and we'll get a feel for the field. Overall, thoughts about day 1? I thought very physical.
Of course, yeah, and everybody's starting very strong. What shocked me, I think, was the shortness, the tightness of the main event.
Yep.
Just over 10 minutes. Sonata putting away Hikuleo, I would say, by the skin of his teeth, catching Hikuleo off guard, and hitting that deadfall to come away with the win. But I think everybody's talking about that 20-minute tie, Narita and Umino, and the start, I think, of a long legacy to come over the next few years, next few decades.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And of course, the 20-minute time limit as opposed to 30 minutes this year for the G1. We've already had one draw. We knew ahead of time, hey, listen, it's going to be more of a factor. We'll see if it's a factor today. I look at the main event for somebody in Tetsuya Naito who takes on Jeff Cobb. Naito traditionally seems to be in that Greg Valentine mode. It almost takes him 20 minutes to get cooking. And the last 5-6 minutes down the stretch in G1 matches, he's been money. It'll be one apiece if that happens here today.
Yeah, so it might be difficult for him to adapt to that 20-minute time limit. Still, he feels very confident against Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb's never beaten him. Beat him twice, of course, Wrestle Kingdom last year, and then further on down the stretch. So I think Naito is the favorite, but it wouldn't surprise me if Jeff Cobb can put Naito away.
Top 2 point getters for each block advance to the quarterfinals on August the 10th. One of my almost certain picks, and I hate to jinx him in that regard, is Tama Tonga. I think Tama Tonga has been absolute money the last 2 years in this tournament. Today's semifinal against Evil, he's obviously going to have to put up with the House of Torture and all of their shenanigans.
Yeah, a lot of previous with Tama Tonga and Evil as well. I think one thing for me is we haven't seen Tama Tonga since he lost the Never Openweight Championship to David Finlay, and that was a dominant display.
Yeah.
Tama Tonga stretched it out. How is Tama feeling? That's going to be the key to this match.
More state of mind, I think, than physical. A loss like that can be devastating, especially when everybody says, and he reads and he sees what's talked about on social media. One that has, I think, a lot of people just salivating at the prospect of physicality, Shingo Takagi versus Eddie Kingston. Yeah, Eddie Kingston's in the G1, folks, and it's not going to be pretty, it's going to be brutal. And he's going to prove his point in this tournament. He's going to get his money's worth, no doubt about it. If he gets the victory here over Shingo, it'll be a good start towards him winning the G1.
Eddie says he wants to be tested by being in this G1 now. Here's where the rubber hits the road. Can Eddie be there? Can he hang? Can he hang with a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion? We'll find out later today.
How about Shane Haste, Alex Coughlin? Body-wise, kind of almost mirror images if you think about physical. And Haste, of course, tremendously athletic with the legs. Coughlin, powerful, resilient. One half of the strong openweight tag team champions. We'll see what happens there. What do you think?
And mentally dead set on this match. We heard it in the press conference. A lot of ill will, a lot of ill feeling. Whether he directs that in the right way, we'll find out. If he can, then he will be successful.
Whole lot of TMDK here today. Of course, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Zack Sabre Jr. And we know what we're going to get with that. It could be a whole panoply of wrestling, whatever direction they want to go in. Has been a tremendous rivalry. We just talked about Mikey Nichols. We talked about Shane Haste, rather. Mikey Nichols versus Aaron Henare, and I'm very interested to see what happens in this one. Familiar in the same region of the world, coming up, but different paths to get where they are now.
Yes, and I think Mikey Nichols, a lot of people are sleeping on him.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see whether he can live up to the task. And at the same time, Aaron Henare, a lot of buzz over him revealing something, was very masked up during the press conference yesterday, and we've got a lot of history and I think a lot of notes, a cultural thing with
yes.
that I'd like to touch on when we get into the book.
Yeah, there's a whole the body culture. You're going to learn a lot about it. We're going to learn a lot about it as we go along here. Age-old rivalries with Hiroki Goto, Toriano in the Chaos faction. They know each other so well. and we could look for the Sublime Master Thief to really pull some tricks out here.
I think this conversation is going to go longer than that match did.
Yes.
2020, it was the shortest G1 match in history, 18 seconds. So don't get up and make a snack or anything, because it'll be done by the time you sit down.
And what begins the journey today for day 2, G1 Climax 33, is a reuniting of foes from the first round of the New Japan Cup, with Tomohiro Ishii versus David Finlay. Finlay, the Rebel, shocked everybody as a new member of Bullet Club, new look, Gato in his corner. No catching the Stone Pitbull by surprise here today, though.
True. So, yeah, I mean, can Ishii, and Ishii, a lot of questions, can he still hang through the G1 period? Not in terms of skill, but can he put the results together? So he wants to start strong. David Finlay still out to make a statement, even as never openweight champion.
These are my dogs for real, folks, right here. This would be you, Chris. Of course, our cameraman, beloved, and all the folks inside. And all of you joining around the world on njpwworld.com for free. Absolutely free. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors. It's a huge wrestling Saturday all over the world. Huge wrestling Sunday. Trust me, it's going to be worth your time to spend a little bit of your journey with us right here in Sapporo. G1 Climax 33. Any last thoughts, Chris?
Sweat.
I know, we got to go inside and try to cool off. We'll see you in a bit here. njpwworld.com. I thought you said it would be cooler here. Lied to me.